Hello there and welcome. Today I'm going to do an unboxing of the Nintendo Switch 2. I have not played around with this yet. Literally just arrived this evening. It's got Mario Kart World with it. This is a digital one, as in Mario Kart. And this retails, the physical on that retails at $59.95 on Amazon. 45 on G2A. So I got it for a reasonably good deal, so hopefully this will replace that, but let's find out, and hopefully it'll be worth it, because $3.99, it's a fair bit of money considering the Switch 1 was about $280, $290 when I got it in 2019 I believe it was. Okay, so let's have a glance at this. It should be quite interesting. So there's a tablet. It is considerably chunkier than the original Switch, definitely. Very, very interesting. In fact, let's put that there. Joy-Cons, to be honest, I don't mind the Joy-Cons, but I've got another controller, so I'll probably use that, because I tend to find with the Switch 1, the Joy-Cons have a tendency to drift, which is really irritating when you're climbing a mountain or up a big cliff in, say, Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. And when you stop, the Joy-Con drift, and you just walk off the edge. So that's something to be avoided, hopefully. Okay. What have we got here? So I'm assuming this is probably, yes it is. Okay. So have a HDMI cable. Looks like it's a 4K compliant one, because the Switch 1 came with a really more basic one, and we've got these as well. I've never used them on Switch 1, so that's why they've been. So whether I use them this, I doubt it, to be honest. But either way, okay. Let's not stretch the screen. That is bugging me. Now the question is, have they provided me with a power cable? Because Nintendo with their 3DS stuff didn't. They stopped providing cable, and they have. Obviously, we are, and you can power this with anything. Right, this is something also to know. Most people probably know this. Do always use a USB-C power cable. I mean, my brother's son, he tried to use this with the old Switch 1 power connector. No. He tried to use the old power connector for the Switch 1 to power the dock for the Switch 2, and of course it didn't turn on. And just, yeah, kind of funny, but it is what it is. Obviously they're going to have different power requirements. The Switch 2 is going to be substantially more powerful than the Switch 1. I guess we'll see in a couple of years how much more powerful. But so yeah, so USB. As I said, I've got Mario Kart World digitally. And I have actually been playing, I've got a video of it, but I haven't done it yet. I have actually been playing on Nintendo GameCube controllers bit thing. I've been playing Mario Kart Double Dash on that, so that's a video to come. Quite a long one in fact, so if you like Mario Kart footage and you like listening to people just talk bollocks, then you're quite welcome to watch it. And this would be the new sort of Joy-Con attachable thing for it. My old one, I think my sister still got it. I lent my Switch 1 to my nephew one time, and I don't think I've ever got it back, but it doesn't matter either way, because you can use the Joy-Cons with the, and I think this has got the ability to do that as well, so that might be handy for, I don't know if it supports Metro Prime Remaster, probably Metro Prime 4, but I haven't got that yet, so I guess we'll see. And this, I'm assuming, is the dock. Oh, wow. That is substantially more chunkier than the last one, particularly in terms of the size and that. Let me just make some space in there. Let's have a glance. Let's have a glance. Okay, so Switch 1. I have to excuse the cables. I've done a bit of cleaning, but I've got to do some more cable management because that looks dreadful. Okay, so yeah, there's a bit more heft to that, definitely. and I'm making the assumptions obviously going to be that only the Switch 1 works only on like the original Switch dock and not the Switch 2 dock. But you'd be surprised the amount that is not very even. So what are we working with this one then? So we've got a bit more ventilation. And what are we dealing with? Ah, so 2 USBs. There's one on that, so that's what I've got that adapter there that allows me to sync like PlayStation. I did a video on it many times a while ago, a couple of years back. PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, anything Bluetooth that you can then control on that, which is kind of interesting and different. So how does this open up then? I'm assuming there's. Okay, so HDMI, USB-C. Oh, I'll be damned. You've got Ethernet as well. Switch 1 was completely wireless, so that's kind of interesting. Very, very interesting, in fact. The Switch 1, the speeds are pretty appalling on the eStore, so I guess we'll see if this is a substantial upgrade or not. I guess we'll see. Okay, so we've got the new Joy-Cons. These apparently attach magnetically, apparently. So, and the other thing I need to do with this actually is I need to get a screen protector. Oh yes, I think I need a screen protector quite badly for that because that's going to scratch quite nastily. Right, okay. Right, so, oh yeah. It's a lot bigger, substantially bigger. In fact, let's get the old Switch out, just as an example, so you can see them side by side. Yeah, there is a substantial difference between them, size-wise. Yeah, that's surprisingly big. Oh, that's not a good. But I'm going to have to order a protective thing for that because that's going to get scratched. The other thing is, okay, so we have a stand, and it's a tiny bit more durable than the old stand. So, yeah, it's not bad. It's different. The C button apparently is for chat, and there's a camera you can get for this as well. But the quality I've seen from these streams is pretty dreadful, to be honest. It's like you're talking like 10 to 15 frames a second. It looks like playing GoldenEye on N64 when you play multiplayer like 4 players. It's like stuttering when you see people talking and stuff, so I'm not sure how it's going to work. And apparently that's chargeable. Apparently it's going to be part of their subscription fee. Although, to be honest, in Nintendo's defense, Nintendo don't tend to charge anything like PlayStation or Xbox do in terms of pricing, so there is that. So I'm going to have to order a protective screen for this because this is going to get scratched quite easily, I think. It is 120Hz VR screen. In fact, should we switch on and see what it does? Okay, so we've got the Nintendo thing. Try to get a little bit closer so people can actually see it. The Nintendo Switch 2 is substantially bigger than the Nintendo Switch 1. The quality of it it's still plastic, but it has the Joy-Cons do feel better quality. The big issue I had with the Joy-Cons with the original Switch was the issue with hand cramp, and obviously I've mentioned already Joy-Con drift. But the Switch 2 ones do have more substantial heft to them, so they do feel better. Less chance, I suppose, in theory anyway, of breaking the Joy-Cons, where with the original Switch ones they just slot in, whereas these ones obviously they're magnetic and stuff. I do think it's a missed opportunity that Nintendo didn't do an OLED, to be honest. Obviously they did an OLED with because I've just got the basic LCD Switch, which has been fine, don't get me wrong. An OLED screen would look amazing, and I do have some Mario Kart footage on there at the moment. It looks a bit desaturated, the colour though. I did have HDR enabled. Now, HDR is something you can do on Switch 2. I don't know whether that's OBS on my Elgato device, but I think the Elgato device supports HDR. So I'm not sure on that. I'm gonna have to sort of try and figure that one out. But yeah, generally like it's a reasonably good piece of kit. It's still plastic. Screen's substantially bigger, as you can see. I do like there's there's a chat button on there as well now, but I believe that is going to cost you money to use. I believe it's a like an online chat feature, which will be coming out in the next month or something. So, and the obviously I've already said the camera quality for the streams. I believe they've improved it a little bit, but it still looks pretty rough. You're still looking at it looks pretty low frame rate with friends and stuff. But on the other hand, it is a way of getting people in on this platform for online play. Nintendo has never exactly been the most forward-thinking company. I mean, with the Switch 1, you had to use a phone app to actually communicate and talk, which I've never ever actually tried because I don't know that many people that have a Nintendo Switch. And the Switch, to be honest with you, the reason the first one, even the second one I bought, it was just mainly for Nintendo games. Your Zeldas. Maybe your Mario's as well, obviously Mario Kart and stuff like that. But it's generally that type of stuff. If something comes out online that I enjoy, usually it's more PC based or PlayStation or Xbox. But like Mario Kart, as you can see, this would be a quite a good one online. I imagine it'd be quite a lot of fun. But it just is very much dependent on what you enjoy, I suppose. But I've enjoyed quite a bit of Mario Kart. I played quite a lot of it last night, and it's definitely up there with at least it's on par with Mario Kart Wii. I played a bit of obviously 8 on the original Switch. As I said before, then my favorite is probably Mario Kart 64, just because that's the one I've played the most. Obviously, these other games are a lot more advanced than Mario Kart 64. But again, I did enjoy Double Dash as well. So, as we can see, so as out of the docks, there is, as I said, considerable size difference. Quality-wise, the screen on the Switch 2 does look a lot more vibrant. Obviously, it's still I believe it's still an LCD screen, if I've got my specs correct. But it is more vibrant than the Switch 1, just by looking at it. And obviously, I didn't do a great job putting on the plastic protectors for the scratch proof of the screens. I always kind of suck when it comes, as you can see, there's bubbles on both Switch 1 and Switch 2 screens. But it's a nice, it's pretty vibrant, and obviously the stands. Oh Jesus, my bad. And obviously the stand on the Switch 1 and 2, the quality comparisons are substantially different. Obviously, quality-wise, Switch 1 is a dinky little thing, whereas the Switch 2, they really have improved that heft. Obviously, adjustability on the Switch 2 is a lot better than on Switch 1. And obviously, I was venting, and there's just so much about it that looks that much better. Obviously, it's substantially more money, so, like everything, and we will actually get into that, because that's a topic of discussion that relates to PlayStation at this moment in time. It already related to Xbox, so yeah. Okay, so Switch 1 and Switch 2 comparisons. Obviously, that's bollocks. Okay, so obviously with the Switch 1s, it's just literally a case of they just slide off. Most people know that. Although I've seen videos of people where they actually get them stuck, which is interesting to say the least. That stand is pretty terrible, to be honest. Saying that here, I know with the PlayStation 5, they don't even give you a stand now. You have to pay another £30. So with Switch 2, hopefully this will be a better comparison than dropping the moving. The idea is there's some little catches here. You just literally pull them, and they come off. So it's a much better design, most definitely. That's clearly had a lot of thought put into it. I've got a couple of demos on there I've not even used yet. And then obviously they just bingo, switch back in, and voila. So yeah, I'll do a bit of game footage as well on Switch 2 with Mario Kart and maybe some other games. It's just basically a more powerful Switch. It does everything an original Switch does, just on a much more grand scale. As I said, $399 with Mario Kart digital, or you can get it physical. But I think the physical is about £60, so it depends. I think for that bundle, it's not that bad, if I'm honest. The Switch One that was coming in, I think about between $279 and $290, if I remember correctly. And I got that just for Breath of the Wild at the time, and it'll be the same for this. Mostly Nintendo games, although I guess we'll see what comes out. Ocarina of Time has again been rumored. I'm tired of rumors. Give me a yes or no. You know, the rumor mill for Nintendo is it's all the same for everyone, but Nintendo in particular. Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, even though you can play Wind Waker on the Nintendo subscription service. And I'm a big fan of remakes, as I've said many times, but I want to see some other stuff as well, some new stuff, or continuations of franchises and stuff.